flight bans have only relatively worked. What are the additional measures we are taking? What are the precautions? Here are some details that we are putting out for you. First of all, random RT-PCR testing. If it's positive, genome sequencing and treatment as per protocol. Genome sequencing is important because any country wants to know whether, you are carrying that genome, that new variant with you, or this is the Delta variant or other variants which have been around for quite some time. If it's negative, and these are from not risk nations, then a 14-day home quarantine. Quarantine rules are very strict, and at the same time in big cities like Delhi and Mumbai, there are random checks that happen to ensure that these norms are being followed. Now, flyers from at-risk nations, there is a mandatory RT-PCR test. If you're positive, of course, genome sequencing and separation. Separately, there's a facility for isolation. This is an institutional quarantine that you'd have to go to. Home quarantine, if you're negative, retest on day 7. And of course, if God forbid you test positive, then the same protocol. And if you're negative, then 7 days self-monitoring that you need to do. So these are from the at-risk nation, the international travels which are coming in. Let me cut across to my colleagues who are joining us on the broadcast, Anshul and Revati with us this morning. Good morning to both of you. Revati, first, a word from you about what are the kind of precautions which are being taken in the state of Karnataka. What is the state government saying so far, and how do the COVID numbers really stack up?
As far as the COVID numbers go, it is not increased to such a significant level, about 200, 300 cases per day in the state of Karnataka, new cases reported per day. Now, precautionary measures are being taken in the state. State is also, in addition to testing people who are arriving at the airport from high-risk countries, they're also tracking people who have come in the last 15 days. So, if they've come in from the high-risk countries in the last 2 weeks, they will also be subject to testing. Now, those who arrive, all international passengers will be tested. Those who are symptomatic but negative, they will be advised home quarantine and tested on the 5th day. If they are negative, then on the 7th day. But if positive, they will be hospitalized. They will be sent to COVID care centers, where treatment protocol is also being discussed at this point of time. The government, in a meeting yesterday, also decided that a 10-panel member would be set up to look into how the new variant could be tackled, what would be the treatment protocol for that. In fact, in addition to that, the government is also looking at giving booster dose, for which the Chief Minister is leaving to Delhi tomorrow. He will discuss with the Union Health Minister about giving booster doses to frontline healthcare workers as well, because it's been about 6 to 7 months since they finished their vaccination schedule. So if that can be done, then the state government is looking to request the center for that as well. So far, of those who have returned from foreign countries or from the high-risk countries, 2 had tested positive of his. One is the Delta variant. The other has been sent for further investigation for genome sequencing. So we're waiting a result on that. Sure. We have a latest update as to a 3rd person testing positive. Details on where this person has come from and what the sample variant is awaited.
The result is awaited, and I remember, Anshul, there's a result awaited in the state of Maharashtra as well about the genome sequencing. Indira Gandhi International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the country, in the national capital. The Delhi Chief Minister on many occasions voiced the concern that we have a lot of international flights coming in. Just stop the flights because Delhi becomes adversely affected. But take us through what protocols you're witnessing on the airport right now. What are the passengers really telling you?
So, Anusha, the Indira Gandhi International Airport has made specific arrangements for passengers arriving from all these specifically 12 high-risk countries. Around 14 to 1500 passengers can be allowed to wait inside the airport terminals once they arrive from these high-risk countries. Yeah. And on their arrival, a mandatory RT-PCR test is being done, irrespective of their vaccination status, and if they have already produced an RT-PCR test 72 hours before they boarded the flight. Sure. So yes, these are some of the restrictions that are imposed here at the airport. Talking about the passengers are facing various issues. I got to talk to a few passengers when they came out of the airport. So once the passengers land at the airport, they have to undergo this mandatory RT-PCR test, which costs around 1700 rupees. These includes their refreshments such as food and beverages, and they have to wait for around 4 to 4.5 hours for these results to come out. Once these results come out, then they are allowed to go for immigration process. So it adds at least 6 to 8 hours to their travel times. And what reports we are picking up is that many passengers have missed their connecting flights from the national capital to their respective states. So yes, these are some of the issues that are being faced by the passengers here. I got a chance to speak to a passenger who landed here at the national capital at around 2 a.m. this morning, but was only allowed to come out of the airport at around 8 a.m. We'll just try and play that out for our viewers. Let's listen in to what that passenger had to say about the issues that he faced here at the Indira Gandhi International Airport. What were the issues that you faced? Were you communicated that the new restrictions have been imposed in the national capital?
हमें प्लेन के अंदर मिसगाइड किया गया कि आपकी जिनकी 2 डोज लगी हुई हैं वो डायरेक्ट बाहर जा सकते हैं, इसीलिए सब लोग बहुत वो रिलैक्स भी थे। जो हमने सुविधा पोर्टल पे अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन भरी थी वो दोबारा उन्होंने हमसे ली है, और उसके लिए एक तो 2 तरह के टेस्ट किए गए, एक तो 4000 का 1 घंटे के अंदर, वो भी नहीं बताया गया, ये कहा कि हाँ जल्दी हो जाएगा। इस तरह की परेशानियाँ वहाँ बहुत हुई हैं। मैं कह रहा हूँ मिसमैनेजमेंट यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा है। बहुत लोग एक तरह रो रहे थे कि भाई हमारी कनेक्टिंग फ़्लाइट का कोई गाइड करने वाला नहीं था। ये बड़ी दुर्भाग्य की बात है।